Dave from Augusta, Georgia wants to know how and to what extent you should get involved if there is an active shooter and lives are on the line. We'll talk about that in just a minute, but first let me tell you we have a gun giveaway going on. It's happening right now. It's absolutely free, but it ends really soon. So click the link in the description down below to see which brand new gun you could win. Now this is a question that we get fairly often. What should I do if there's an active shooter? I'm going to start out by telling you that I cannot dictate what you should do if there is an active shooter or to what extent you should do it. This is a personal decision. I can't explain to you the options and talk you through about what could or might happen when you're involved in a situation like this or when you're witnessing a situation like this. But what you're going to do comes down to your personal beliefs and your ability to do the things you think you can do. So, first and foremost, if there's an active shooter situation, you need to assess immediately whether or not you need to escape or whether or not you need to engage the shooter. Those are the two things that you can always do. Intervention options from Police Academy 101. You can escalate or you can disengage. That's what your choices are. So, what you decide to do is going to be based on a lot of different things. But remember the main goal. The main goal of self-defense is, oddly, defense of self. Are you going to go and face down an active shooter and possibly get killed and not be able to take care of your family? Yes, I know it sounds selfish. Yes, I understand that all of us who are carrying a gun are planning to be on the white horse and ride in and save the day. But there is reality we have to deal with. And if you get shot and killed, no one is going to be able to take care of your family. If you get shot, wounded, and paralyzed, someone is going to have to take care of you. You need to stop and think about that stuff before you go running into a gunfight. Now, let's assume that you have decided, for whatever reason, that your moral compass will not allow you to escape, that you need to go and stop this shooter because he is causing carnage. If you decide you're going to do that, I want you to assess the situation the way you would assess going into a gun battle, because that's truly what's happening. I want you to utilize every single bit of cover that you can. If you're going to move from one piece of cover to another piece of cover and move quickly and directly and commit to that movement. Then I'm going to need you to make sure that you can make the shot you're dreaming of making. So if you're too far away, and yes, we heard the mall shooter story, everybody's doing the 10 shots in 15 seconds from 45 yards, understand that not everybody can make that shot. Shooting from that distance might stop the active shooter's indiscriminate killing and make him focus on you, but if your shots aren't accurate and effective and stop that shooter, now you're bringing his full attention to you and you might be in a direct one-on-one gun battle. So I want you to use every bit of your cunning, and I don't care if the fight is fair. I want you to sneak up on this person. I want you to get closer. I want you to do everything that you can do to win this fight. And again, no rules. If you need to be throwing something off to the side to cause a distraction to the left so you can go to the right and get a better angle to shoot this person, go ahead and do that. Again, there are no hard and fast rules of what you can do. What you need to do is stop the shooter. If you've committed to that line of action, you need to stop the shooter. And it may be that you're shooting from a cover position or you're shooting from rollover prone or something like that. Protect yourself while you're trying to stop the shooter. It might be that you just need to crush the distance and get closer and charge forward and engage this shooter to stop that activity. Understand, if you do that, you might get shot. That shooter might get rounds on target and might stop you before you stop him. So that's why I'm telling you, move from one piece of cover to another piece of cover. And if you really want some specifics, I'm going to tell you not to be exposed for more than 3 seconds. I'm up, he sees me, I'm down. Move like that. I'm up, he sees me, I'm down. If you can get from one piece of cover to another in less than 3 seconds, you're usually going to be doing pretty good. And understand too, I don't want you up against that cover tightly. Cover is cover for the entire duration of between you and the shooter. So if you're back 6 feet from the cover, you got a little bit better angle, you can maybe see some more, and you can position yourself to witness what's going on around you. A lot of the police officers who were killed in Dallas were up close to a piece of cover, and the guy came around behind them and they weren't able to see that. So if you're back from your cover a little bit, you get a better tactical advantage of what you're going to be doing when you're dealing with this shooter who's out in front of you. But still, keep that piece of cover, that element that stops bullets, between you and the shooter. So you're going to want to be looking around and moving from cover to cover. Now, you also need to know exactly who the bad guy is. This is no time to be taking action when you don't have all the information. You are responsible for every round that leaves the muzzle of your gun. So you have to make sure that you have target identification, target acquisition, and target isolation. In an active shooter incident, target isolation might not be as important, but certainly target acquisition, which is knowing which target you're shooting at, and target identification, knowing exactly that that is the target that's causing the threat. You need to know those things before you engage, because if you shoot innocent people, you are going to be held accountable. Now, there may be some legal protection because you were doing the best you could in a really bad situation, but even if you are found not guilty of killing someone, you're still going to have to live with that if you shot the wrong person in a situation. So understand, lots of things will be going on. And now you're asking yourself, what do I have with me that's going to help me stop this threat? Do you have spare ammo? Do you have an individual first aid kit? Are you carrying a tourniquet? Do you have all the things that you are going to need when you're engaged with this? Are you on the phone to 911? Can you be talking to the dispatcher while you're shooting with one hand trying to stop this threat? All of these things have to be in your head, and you should think about this stuff before it happens, because in the midst of the gunfight, you're going to have some other things to do than build a plan. So think about this and ask yourself and be honest. Are you capable? Can you make the long shot? Can you move quickly enough to get from cover to cover? Do you want to risk your life to save other people? These are questions that you have to ask before the shooting starts. Do you carry with a round in the chamber? Because if you don't, you need to watch this video right next to me, because it's dangerous not to, and I'll explain why. Yes, you should carry with one in the chamber.